What's up, everyone? Happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to another episode of Battle Talk. This is episode 40, which seems like a really big number. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me, as somewhat usual, is this guy.
Oh, hi.
He's wearing green.
I'm wearing green because it's St. Patrick's Day.
You're way too amused with that.
I am.
I mean, way too amused.
I have my green Power Ranger hoodie. I don't get to use it very often.
You know, it took me a whole 20 minutes the last time you put that on to realize that it was the Green Ranger hoodie and not the Black Ranger hoodie.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's bad. So what's up this week, man?
Stuff, things, noise. How's it going?
It's going good. Great job on breaking stuff.
I know. Do you have a good St. Patrick's Day?
What do you think?
No, it was terrible.
I'm being festive. It's the only green thing I have right now, and it's not even mine.
No, it's lovely.
I know, thank you. My daughter wore it to school today. It's beautiful.
Ooh.
So, Blizzard stuff.
You mean Blizzcon stuff?
Very good, sir. Yes, Blizzcon, the yearly gathering of Blizzard nerds where...
What did you call me?
I called you a Blizzard nerd.
Yeah, you're right.
You like it. Anyway, BlizzCon was announced this week, and here are the details. They're pretty much the same as they were last year, more or less. This year, BlizzCon will be on November 6th and 7th. Tickets will go on sale on April 15th and again on April 18th. 15th at 7 p.m. Pacific time and the 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. They're through Eventbrite.
So that's 10 p.m. on the 15th Eastern
10 p.m.
time.
Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern on the 18th.
1 p.m. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 3-hour difference. It's going through Eventbrite again. Hopefully they ironed the kinks out of the system this year.
I mean,
it wasn't terrible.
You used it last year, right? We both used it last year. I didn't have very many issues with it.
I got the tickets, right? Yeah, I got the tickets for the four of us. And I didn't have an issue. Like,
no, you didn't get my... I had my own tickets. I had me and...
All right, I got 3.
That's I got me, Rachel, her husband, and her daughter.
I got me, Nikki, and B. That's right.
Yeah.
I had no issue. It went through quick. Excuse me. I got to the store quicker than any year before that. Maybe I was just lucky, and I was in the first wave of F5 smashing.
Right.
But, yeah, you just heard constant things about drama afterwards, how people didn't get their emails, or their orders got lost, or all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and I know that there was a graphical error or whatever, and it was showing people last year as not having tickets or something like that. And I remember I was able to see mine as the lead, the main event person.
Yes.
But then Rachel was trying to log in and see the tickets through the email that was sent to her or whatever, and she was having an issue and said that they weren't showing up, and then she asked me to look at hers, and then I couldn't see hers. Then she put a ticket in, I put a ticket in, and they said it was just like a graphical issue that we still had the tickets. It wasn't a thing. So, I mean, I don't see that. I factor that in as like a typical problem. Like, if all those people actually physically lost their tickets and they had to go through and file everybody's claims again and all that, that would have been a problem. But
yeah,
this is just a little bug. I don't see that as a big deal.
Yeah, but people freaked out. They can't see their tickets due to a bug. They think they're gone. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Because, people book flights and hotels and all that other stuff. But, back to the info. There's just a little bit more. $200 each. I'm sorry, $199 US currency.
It's the same price they were last year.
Yep. So, 2 questions. We'll start with the easy question first. Will you be attending this year?
That's not an easy question. That is the hardest question.
Starting with the easier question. You want me to be specific?
All signs are pointing to no right now, unfortunately. I don't think I have the funds for it. I had a couple offers for some friends and stuff to stay with them in hotels to get me to go down. So it's really all right. So what I'm going to plan on doing is I'm first and foremost I'm going to try to get a ticket because that's the first step.
Right.
If I can get a ticket, then I'm going to decide if I can go or not. If I can't go, there's plenty of other thing. I believe Elvine had set something up last year.
Yeah, he set up a website to help people find last minute tickets and hotel
Yeah,
rooms
for
and stuff.
ticket resale and stuff like that. So if I'm able to get my ticket and then I realize I can't make it financially, then I can just sell it, through that again if Elvine does that again. But between the hotel is still like a nice chunk of the price there, but
Yeah.
I don't know the between the ticket that's $200, the flight that's about another 150.
If you get a good, yeah.
If you
a
get
cheap
in early,
flight.
cheap. That's the minimum is 150, and I don't know that's 350, and then food alone, that's gonna be like another 200.
Right, exactly.
So
This year it's looking like no for my wife and I. We've gone 2 years in a row now. See, the thing is, I would never be able to go without taking her,
right,
and I doubt she would ever want to go without me. So, I mean, maybe we'd be able to scrape together the funds for one of us to go,
right,
but then, yeah, having two people going, that's a pain in the ass.
yeah. It's just
Especially
yeah,
when it's with my wife, it makes it harder to split a hotel room with people. And,
yeah.
I gotta get 2 plane tickets. I gotta get 2 BlizzCon tickets.
Yeah.
But barring winning the lottery or some anonymous benefactor, I'm probably not going this year. Next year, maybe.
Yeah, I may. I don't know because so many people want to see me this year. There's a couple people that have been messaging me and stuff like, you have to go this year. You have to go because I wasn't able to make it the last 2 years and I want to see you or whatever. And I don't know. I really maybe I'll try to do some streams or some. See if I can get some donations going, like a help Zista to BlizzCon fund. Because I mean, as much I'm not as interested in going this year as I have been the last 2 years because I don't know. What was it? My first BlizzCon was 2 years ago.
Right.
And it was phenomenal. I had so much fun. Just all the people hanging out there, and there was so much to do. All the panels and we line for like an hour or an hour and a half for the wind tunnel game.
Longer than that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm actually glad we waited in that line because that thing wasn't there this year, and
Yeah.
I would have been upset because even though we got nothing out of it, the thing was still so much fun.
Yeah.
And just I remember when your wife went in there, and then
Oh,
I
you
just
got the best
ran up
picture.
and banged on the glass or something.
No, you ran up and took her picture, and you know how she doesn't like having surprise pictures taken, so you just ran up there. Her face when you snapped that photo. I have it all on video, too.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great.
fantastic.
So just the little things like that were so much fun. But I think the big draw of it was the expansion was announced, right? And it was just the whole energy was completely different. So last year, because even though we're Blizzard fans, I think we mainly were rooted in Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
So even though they announced Overwatch and that was kind of a big deal, it was just that feeling of not having a lot of substantial WoW stuff because the expansion was coming out in less than 2 weeks from then.
Not even. Yeah.
So it was what are you going to show us that we haven't already seen 1,000 times over in beta and all that? So
It's are you going to show us what's coming the next content patch?
Right.
What do we haven't even gotten the expansion yet. What's going to happen? And they had Warlords playable there on the floor, and practically nobody was. I mean,
Right.
people were who didn't have the beta. I'm guessing by that point were, fucking around with it. But I mean, the big draws were Heroes of the Storm again and Overwatch.
yeah, and I don't know, Hearthstone. We had the goblins and gnomes
Oh
and stuff too.
wow,
so
I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
the line wasn't extremely long for Hearthstone. I was able to get in every single time I wanted to play within 5 minutes of getting in that line.
They had a streamlined system set up for that.
Yeah.
So
And I was able to go do some stuff. Like I entered myself in like a little Hearthstone tournament and things like that. I got a T-shirt out of it, and just little things. And just without the Warcraft expansion, it was kind of, I don't want to say it was a disappointment, but it wasn't as exciting for me as it was that first year. Maybe part of that was because it was my first BlizzCon, but I think the majority of it was not having that big WoW thing. And that is the one thing that's got me so torn this year, is because we know there has to be a Warcraft expansion announcement this year.
there's got to be something
If
Warcraft.
they don't announce it this year,
Announced.
because they announced Warlords 2 BlizzCons before it happened. Right? If they don't announce it now, does that mean we're not getting a Blizzard We're not getting a Warcraft expansion for 2 years? No, that's not right. They have to announce it now.
Yeah.
They have to.
Well, there's that.
So
And I mean,
I just want to go back to like that energy, and so that's what's really got me torn. That's why I want to go this year, as opposed, and I don't know.
I don't know. Both years were a lot of fun. Meeting new people, you pieing somebody in the face.
Oh, I did. I had a blast.
The parties.
I don't want to. I don't want to make it seem like I didn't have fun at this place.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the actual convention itself, the energy there, not the external X factors of the people and the, the antics we did outside of the convention.
Yep. So there's that. Probably get more hero stuff, more Overwatch. I mean, by the time this rolls around, Overwatch will probably be in beta.
They said it was coming
In
late.
the fall.
They said it was coming this fall. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have it at least, if not by BlizzCon, at BlizzCon. They'll probably
Go with that, and I can expect another Hearthstone expansion announcement. Because at the
more or
rate
less,
they're
that's-
cranking Hearthstone content out, I mean,
as it stands right now, I'm gonna guess every BlizzCon we're gonna get an expansion announcement, and every PAX we're gonna get a adventure announcement. That's the pattern's been consistent, so I'm gonna go with that.
and you know what? They keep putting out. I don't play Hearthstone a lot, but I am impressed by the quality of it and the ease to actually get into it
And
at the
and,
basic level.
and Blackrock Mountain.
And Blackrock Mountain now. But I'm impressed with what they're doing with that, and I gotta say, I hope they keep the steam up. They keep going full steam ahead there.
Yeah, I'm just so torn. I'm so torn
Why?
because I want to go, but I can't afford to go.
Exactly,
I
and
want to go.
this is the year where we'll be moving. I'll be working a new job by then, so unfortunately, I probably won't be able to get off. So there's that. Anyway,
Well, that does sound like a personal problem.
that is a personal problem, but I have to be a mature, responsible adult, and yeah.
And
Moving-
find time to get off.
Yes, find time to get off. Thank you, Dom. So, World of Warcraft stuff this week. We can talk more about BlizzCon in a bit. A couple of things came out this week. One was kind of a curveball.
It
BlackRock
actually hasn't gone live yet, though.
No, it's gone live on all the websites. Like Ask Mr. Robot is calculating it, but BlackRock Foundry hotfix. All gear received from any of the 4 levels of BlackRock Foundry, LFR, Normal, Heroic, Mythic, is having a 5 eye level increase. So Mythic is going to now be eye level 700. Heroic is going to be equivalent to Mythic High Maul, and Normal is going to be equivalent to Heroic High Maul. They gave reasoning that the gear jump between the 2 instances didn't feel good enough, didn't feel epic enough, and I saw the argument, why did this make it out of beta like that? If it didn't feel good enough, why didn't you put it in for release? But whatever. Yes, all of your stats are increasing, it's just not a, hey, you have 5 extra eye level. Because I see that question all over the place. And
when they first announced that they're buffing the eye level 5 difficulties, I was like, oh, cool, the stats, there's instantly when they said that, I didn't even think that the stats not going up was a possibility. Right. So then I saw Watcher had to go back and edit his post on the forums to be like, yeah,
that's happening.
It's going up with the eye level. It's not just a flavor thing.
Here's my example. What happens when you get a Warforged piece? Its eye level goes up 6 by 6, and
It's 6. I thought it was 5.
It's 6, and so do all the stats.
Yep.
Anyway, barring that, it's going in. A couple of websites have crunched the numbers. It's going to be about an average of a 3% buff to all classes. The lowest on the stick was one of the Death Knight specs, only got like a 2.5% increase, I believe. Mm-hmm. And the two that made out like bandits are Beastmaster Hunters and Arcane Mages. They got a 3.9% increase. But everything else falls in the middle, so expect about a 3% increase in your damage, health, and secondary stats and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to help out a bit, because I think a lot of the issue was, like, take a guild like us. Like, yeah, we were clearing Heroic High Mall, but we were clearing it maybe 4 or 5 weeks before, right? And we weren't clearing all of it. We were, like, slowly progressing through the Heroics, and then I think it was, we ended up with 5 out of 6, 5 out of 7.
We were clearing Heroic Kargath every week, and then we were going to try other things. We got Twins a few weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden it's like, why don't we try new stuff? And all of a sudden, apparently we just cleared 5 out of 7.
And that was like 2 or 3 weeks before BlackRock came out, and then we jumped right into normal Foundry from there. And then there's a lot of stuff where we were kind of undergeared for it,
and we were still
a little surprising, And it's like the gear that dropped out of normal it's what, 5 eye levels lower than Heroic?
Yes, so normal BlackRock Foundry was 5 eye levels lower, so it was.
However, like the secondary stats were weighted better in there, so
they were better itemized.
Taking that 5 eye level drop was still an upgrade, because like all my pieces had like mastery and haste crit and mastery, or crit and
Mm-hmm.
There was no haste on anything.
I had mastery and haste on,
and haste is my best stat, and everything in Highmall has haste on it. So I had to take 5 eye level decrease to get my secondary stat up, which still increased my DPS. It was still an upgrade for me, but it didn't feel very rewarding, and I feel like this change, putting it on par with Heroic, it's gonna make that difference, because even on Heroic, there's a couple bosses where we get a little close to that enrage timer sometimes.
We skin of our teeth a few fights on there. We definitely did. I mean, we just got Chromog down for the first time Heroic this week.
So we're what, 5 in Foundry now?
6.
6
out of 10 Heroic and only 8 out of 10 normal, if you can believe that. But the thing is,
to be fair, we haven't gone in to try.
We have, since we started getting Heroics down successfully, we haven't even gone back to normal. See, skin, like the Chromog kill, we had 6 seconds to enrage, I believe, or 12 or something like that, a low number. But I was dead for most of the fight. 5 out of the 8 minutes of the fight, I was dead.
Yeah,
and then we lost one of our hunters, a couple minutes after that. So had we lived, it would have been no problem.
Right.
But, I mean, we got it. And Flamebender is a bit of a tight squeeze, but the other fights we've got, I think.
I mean, Chromog's always actually been one of my favorite fights in there.
I like it.
Just, I like the mechanics of it, but it's an extremely frustrating fight, because is this person going to stand in my rune? That whole thing. And then we found there's this add-on called Exorcius Raid Tools.
Great add-on.
If you do not have this add-on, get it right now. Like, stop watching. I don't care if you're watching us. It says stop watching and go download it, and then come back and watch us after.
Great add-on, yeah.
It's great because it shows you, it sets up, you get like a map of where all the runes spawn, and then it shows you all your raid members, and you add them to a spot. So you're basically assigning people to a rune. It shares it with the whole raid, and then it sets up like a waypoint system like TomTom with an arrow. Mm-hmm. And when it's time to go into the rune, the arrow pops up, you run to the rune, everybody knows exactly.
Get closer, and then boink. As soon as it's pointing down, stop moving.
Yeah, and like everybody knows where they're standing, and then the best part about that is because you have the time to set it up and know exactly where they're going to spawn and all that, you can set the raid up around it. So we're able to put all of our like AoE classes in the dead center. So like me as combat rogue, where I'm blade flurrying, I'm able to get all 6 runes around me, and it's just great. They go down so fast. It's great. It's called Exorcius Raid Tools.
I got him in chat.
Exorsus, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Exorcius. Hold on.
I typed it in chat for him, but that's it. It's Exorcist.
Actually, you know what? Zoom in on me for a second.
Yeah, going. Ding, 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 that button.
Right here. Exorcist Raid Tools. And then you go into boss mods, and you go to Promog, and like here's the runes right here.
You map it out. You assign everybody to a rune, and then click share.
Like this is set up from our 10-man that we did this Sunday right now. But like you see, you have me in the center here. This is where my rune is assigned to. And I'm able to Blade Flurry, and I'm able to hit rune 15, rune 12, rune 17, rune 20, rune 24, and 22. I'm able to hit everyone around me, just having me in the dead center like that. It's
right.
Phenomenal.
And it was really nice because, I mean, we set our hunters up on the outside to barrage, our AoE in the middle, spread our healers out, our tanks got the front row, and it didn't trivialize the hand phase, but it did make it a hell of a lot easier to manage.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to be on top. You got to pay attention. It's not like it's not doing the fight for you. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But it does help a lot, and it's got something in there for Thogar for the trains.
Yeah, I haven't played around with that yet.
I turned it on accidentally, and it just puts a thing. It says track 1 through 4, and it gives you the marks.
Yeah, put something over your mini map, and it shows icons, which is actually different icons than what the other train add-on is for. However, I believe that the secondary train add-on, you can change the symbols in that, so you can do them to match Exorcist raid tools.
It's a good thing though.
So yeah, it helped us so much. I can't even begin to tell you. It went from like you'd have like 1 or 2 people dying because they'd overlap runes. Even though we're like, all right, guys, find your spot and try to stay there for the whole night. We'd still have 1 person that's like,
or 2.
Yeah, 1 or 2 people that missed it for whatever reason, or was standing in a rune and they didn't see
going to a rune.
There's a goblin standing inside the Tauren, and it was
people going out into left field, being far away and getting broken out.
I can't stress it enough.
Yep.
Like we did our alt group on Sunday, and we had some pugs come in, and we had one of the pugs actually install the add-on. He was cool with that, and the other 2 we just set off. And I just kind of like, the map is very accurate that's over the room, so I just tried to match up where the rune was and put a symbol there, and that worked too. So
yeah.
Even if you get like 1 or 2 pugs, it's still fairly easy to assign them a spot to stand in.
Mm-hmm. But back to the topic we were talking about here, the eye level increase. I mean, we've talked about more or less what was it needed, and I don't know if it was needed, but it definitely feels nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help us on Chromog. Just if we get 1 or 2 people to go down like that, that little extra damage is going to make it so we don't get close to that enrage.
Right, and it's also, like we were talking about, the taking the downgrade due to better secondary stats. Now it's not a downgrade. Now it's a straight upgrade because the secondary stats are better. You don't have to balance that out. You don't have to do the math, crunch the numbers, and...
I mean, they're doing a lot better job with the eye levels, because I know... There's like, you go back and look in vanilla, and I remember trinkets especially. Like,
oh yeah,
you went to was it Blackwing Lair? Because it feels like this should drop in AQ, but it may have dropped in Blackwing Lair with Stylene's Scarab.
Stylene Scarab, which one?
Stylene's Impending Scarab. It was a tanking trinket, if I remember correctly.
Then it came from Blackrock Found, Blackwing Lair. Then
Blackwing Lair. Yeah, that trinket lasted till the end of the game.
Right. I'm pretty sure class trinkets came out of there.
Yeah, and obviously the eye level wasn't a thing back then. I mean, technically it was, but
nobody gave a crap.
It wasn't on the items, like it wasn't on the UI or anything like that. You couldn't see them. Mm-hmm. There were externally, or I should say internally, eye levels. But they've done such a good job with itemizing gear. Is you don't really have those items that last anymore, and if they do, they fix them.
Mm-hmm. Like for example, the item, what was that mana returning item? The trinket, the ever burning candle, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. That was the healing trinket.
Yeah.
at the beginning of this expansion, bar none. And they realized that it was actually over budgeted on stats. So they fixed that.
Yep.
Because they don't want there to be the bar, maybe for your class and your spec, yeah, there'll be a couple of trinkets that are way better than others, but they want you to have the option if you need it. But there was no one or two. This was the trinket. And it was BOE, and you probably had to buy it. So there is that.
I know a couple people got that out of their salvage crates and sold them for like 125K. I was like, I got one. I only sold it for like 30 or 40K after the nerf, but yeah.
Anyway, with this eye level change, do you think this will make certain groups skip Highball entirely and just go straight to Blackrock Foundry now that it's
yeah.
I mean, we went to Highball because we had no choice. There was no Foundry when we started Highball. That was all there was.
Yep. I mean, I don't know if you could skip High Mall completely. Maybe. Like, what is the eye level gear you get out of LFR Blackrock?
It's going to be 655 now, and that's going to be normal.
Yeah, I mean, technically you can, but it's going to take you a while to get geared. So I'm not going to say entire groups or guilds are going to do it, but an individual probably.
Possibly, yeah. If you're just starting out and people are all low, under geared and stuff, High Mall is a great way to get that little boost, even if it's not your best in slot.
Yep.
Do it for a couple weeks. You'll be glad you did. Not to say that the first couple bosses in Blackrock aren't ridiculously easy. They are.
They are, but they're not at the same time. Like,
they are, but they're not.
Roll is, but you still have to have pretty good coordination on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's more of a tank game than anything, but yeah.
I just love how the first 5 bosses on Heroic are easier than the last couple on Normal.
It's true.
But that's neither here nor there. Some more stuff that came out this week. This was not anything official Blizzard or anything like this. This is a community idea. This is from a fan who put a crap ton of work into this. You can find it on MMO Champion. There's a thread. It is a community expansion called Reign of Ishara fan expansion.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
And it came up on the MMO Champion forums. It went into full detail about what all the classes, what changes would be to classes, what the map would look like, all the zones, all the raids, all the dungeons, and they went into a ton of... You can definitely tell
a lot of work went into that, because you saw the map, and the map was actually very intricately done. It was color coordinated, and it looked like a map that Blizzard could put out. It was really good.
It was a very well done piece of work, and the lore in it was pretty, some of it, the future stuff was speculative, but it felt right, and even had artwork for the new creatures you'd find there. And
yeah, it was concept art and stuff like that. It was really cool. But
I loved everything that came out.
I read through it, and probably the thing that interested me the most was every class, minus the druid, every other class got a 4th specialization. And I started reading through them, and I'm like, these are amazing. The rogue one, because obviously I play a rogue. The rogue one intrigued me more than anything, and it was a tanking class. It was a tank spec, and it used evasive charges and all that for the rogue. It was a whole system on tanking, and obviously rogues don't have shields or anything like that, so taking damage straight on would not really work. Mm-hmm. But evasive charges, yeah, that's really interesting to me, because we have all these different types of tanks. We have the druid that just has straight up a lot of armor, can take some bigger hits and more stamina kind of stuff. You have the warrior that's got the block. That block is a big thing. The Death Knights who parry and stuff. We don't really have a class that's just devoted around dodging class, attacks for a tank, and I really, really, really like that. I can't even begin to explain. I believe it was called Night Ward, and it was. I'm telling you right now, if Blizzard, if you guys gave rogues a tank spec, you would never be short tanks ever again.
Yeah,
because
right.
Do you know how many rogues there are in the game? First and foremost, it's drastically smaller than there was in vanilla BC Wrath, because I think Kata is when the rogue population started dying down. But I wouldn't want to queue up for a dungeon as a DPS if I'm a rogue and I have the ability to tank. I would queue up as tank every time. There would be no shortages of tank for LFRs or anything like that.
Yeah,
Just I can't even. Like I'm getting so worked up just thinking about it because I want to be a tank as a rogue so bad.
that would be pretty cool. And I mean, I was just looking through them again because I forgot most of the list. Blood Mage for the mages is an example. Chaos Shaman.
I mean, I still want a
Twilight
battle
Priest.
mage over a blood mage. Blood mage did sound really cool, but battle mage, like when leveling up and up to 60 and you get up to living strat or scarlet strat, whatever you guys called it,
Yeah.
and they had the battle mages in there, and they were like melee casters. They were great. I would love to see a battle mage.
Battle Mage would be awesome. It is one of my favorite classes to play in games that allow it. Elder Scrolls is probably, Skyrim and Morrowind and shit like that. It was probably my favorite part. But yeah, it's an awesome thing, and it would just be really fun. Sarah Wraith Faye in chat says Blood Mage just makes me do a double take at Dragon Age,
Yeah.
and I gotta do the same thing. And speaking of said person, she sent us a Twitter question. And we already covered it. I'm sorry. Thoughts on what this year's ticketing fiasco for BlizzCon will be?
I don't think it's gonna be a fiasco. Like just the little changes that they made to it. The key change there is that you're getting your barcodes as soon as you order your tickets.
Yeah.
And not only do you get them, but everybody else's email address that you put in there gets them as well.
I like that.
So that's a huge change.
That is a huge change, and
And they have improvements to the queue system as well, because I know there's a couple people that would put like 4 tickets in, and then when it came their turn up in the queue, there wasn't 4 available at the time, and they got bumped back to the lobby or whatever. That's frustrating. So they fixed the queue system. So I don't see. I mean, I can't say for sure, but I can't see any issues this year.
yeah, me neither. I think it'll be all right. And this one is a WoW-related question that we have. This one is from Total Deletion. Design your own St. Patrick's Day holiday event in Warcraft. Go. Something where you have to chase leprechauns,
Oh God.
and they're green-haired gnomes. You have to chase green-haired gnomes and slay them for some kind of shamrocky themed thing, or 4-leaf clover. I don't know, something to do with luck. Throw a lot of RNG in it, more so than the love rocket drop, just to really piss people off.
I think this green-haired gnome. We need to name him Barney,
Yes,
and then
Barney.
and then we have to kiss the Barney stone.
You have to kiss the Barney Stone, and that's the whole point of the event, is to chase this gnome down and kiss him. I just have it like, a gnome's doing an experiment. This will be the dungeon encounter. He like pushes the plunger, things explode, and all of a sudden he's transformed into an army of leprechauns or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like the St. Patrick's
spitting
Day
crap
event in
out.
the game. It would be really cool, but I don't like. To me, all the big events have bosses and stuff on them, and you're gonna want to tie either a mount or a pet or some kind of crazy vanity item or even a toy, now in with the event. I can't really think of a good mount for a green Kodo like.
My wife is watching the stream on an iPad with headphones, right? She just got to the part where we're talking about these ideas, and she's looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
She's over there just like, oh, like, I married this idiot.
She did. You did this, Nikki.
Yes, you did
You
this, honey.
did this.
Please don't undo it. I love you. She'll catch up to that in about 40 seconds.
I don't know, like some kind of mount, some kind of pet. I like green Kodo, maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe an actual clover for a pet or something.
I see green cat, a green treasure goblin. I like all of this.
Green cats could work, yeah.
That's good. And while we're on the WoW topic, we have one more question. This one is not Twitter related. Since we haven't been having live callers the past couple months,
It's my bad.
what are we gonna do? Technical issues. We have. She's laughing over there. Is she crying? Why? No, she's laughing. She's losing her marbles. I don't know.
She has marbles?
Are you okay, honey? You good? She's good. All right.
I didn't know she had marbles.
One of our regular callers has taken to making video questions for us. He actually puts a bit of work into it. So here we go. I hope I didn't screw setting this up. I got it. Here we go. Let's listen.
Hello, Bell Dog. You know who it is. It's Jake here. And I got a question for you guys. What do you guys do when you're not in your garrison, you follow a mission, doing your garrison chores, and when you're not raiding? Because lately I've been finding not much to do. I give you an example of what I do when I don't have anything to do. I go around doing random funny shit because I can. So just like this, because my name is Jake Eater, and this is Battle Talk Extreme!
Really, Jake?
My name is Jake Eater, and this has been my video question for this week. Stay funny, guys.
Oh my god, you crazy, crazy, crazy Danish man. That was great. That was great.
Oh
Calm myself
dear.
here. Straight up jumps off a Teldrassil.
That's impressive.
Well played. So what do I do?
You don't log on, that's what you do.
Unfortunately, not lately.
When you're not in your garrison, you're offline.
Well, you know what? I've had a lot of not time lately on my hands, but what I do when I'm not raiding, not in my garrison, not resetting missions, not all that BS, I go and run old dungeons. Cataclysm, Wrath of the Lich King, Mount Drops, and just for the money, I mean, I realized last week a full clear of all of the Cataclysm
Don't
dungeons.
tell them! It'll get nerfed, and it'll be your fault.
I'm being stared at angrily, so I should stop. I make a lot of money. We'll go with that. A good amount of change. And it's great for transmog because I'm the only one in there.
Yeah.
And any leather or weapons or anything that looks pretty, I'm just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I got to go back and finish the one set I'm getting out of Siege of Orgrimmar, Mythic. I need one more piece to make it look good.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Siege of Orgrimmar?
never want to do that again, but I have to.
We should do it right now.
No, not right now. I don't have the brain. What do you do, Dom, when you're not?
I do run old raids as well, but lately I've been leveling alts. I'm typically not an alt guy. I never really, like, I can't say never, but so it was all through vanilla. I had, so I leveled a warlock first. That was my first character. And then I hated it, and I deleted it. I was one of those people that instead of just making another character, you deleted characters you didn't like. I was one of those people. Don't understand why. But it seemed like the right idea at the time.
Yep.
So then I leveled a rogue, and I've had a character from vanilla, BC, and Wrath, up to through Wrath. It was just my rogue, and I had bank alts and stuff like that. Around the time of Wrath, I leveled a mage. And I was raiding a little bit on my mage. I was doing an alt run with Months Behind. We were doing Grand Crusader, Trial of the Grand Crusader. And a little bit into Ice Crown, but not much. And then it kind of stopped there, and then Cataclysm, I only leveled the rogue. I actually started leveling a druid in Cataclysm. But it never hit max level. It stopped when I got to the Cataclysm content, and it never leveled it past that. So that was like, what, level 80?
About, yeah.
Yeah, and then Pandaria came out, and I leveled a monk, and I got the monk to, I think it was one level short of the expansion, or one level short of the cap of the expansion or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did some patch where they like nerfed a bunch of XP or whatever, and I logged on and I was sitting at a full bar. I had to kill one monster to ding. So, um, yeah, that was great. So that's the only reason I ended up with the max level monk. And then this expansion I leveled my rogue. I did my power level, my
Yeah.
free 90 or whatever. I did that for an alliance rogue, right? My first alliance tune ever. Leveled that to 100. Then I went back and leveled my druid, so my druid's 100. I haven't started the monk yet. My mage is 90. I got my mage up to 90, and I actually just started leveling a death knight. Death knight. I never call them death knights.
You
I
call them desk knives, yeah.
Yeah. So I always slip up and always want to call them desk knives. That's a thing we started doing in Months Behind a long time ago, and it's stuck forever. So my desk knife just hit 70.
Mm-hmm.
71, 72. I don't know. I'm doing heroics, or not heroics, normals in Wrath of the Lich King now. So I'm actually leveling with 2 guild mates and stuff. So it's just a lot of fun. Like you get a bunch of people together and you go level alts. Leveling an alt by yourself can get a little boring at times, but
It can.
group up with your guildies. Like we log on, we just do maybe 2 or 3 dungeons, sometimes 4 dungeons a night. That's it. That's all. We'll get 2 levels out of it, and we have a blast doing it. It's so much fun.
It is, and I have a couple alts in the works. My shaman's 94, my alliance mage is 93, and as far as leveling alts go, my wife and I get together and we'll sit down for like 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday or something and just go until one of us gets bored or hungry, and then we stop. And we usually get like 10, 15 levels out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on a mage and she's working on a monk. And that's that. I need to sit down and dedicate some time to leveling.
I think I forgot to mention that all 3 of the people that I'm leveling with were all leveling desk knives. And it's just a life grip fest when it comes to the instance. It's like I'll life grip a caster. If I miss a caster, all of a sudden the caster's coming in, the second one.
It's called
Here
death
comes
grip.
the third one. Another group is getting pulled. It's death and decay everywhere. I had a healer leave in the middle of the instance. We weren't taking damage. We weren't wiping. It wasn't anything like that, but it was just like chaos going on.
At that level, yeah.
I was like, if I was in this heroic or in this dungeon leveling up and I came across this group, and it's like a group of people that know what they're doing, they're not pulling more than they can handle, and they're just decimating everything, I would have never left. I would have asked to stick with these guys the whole time.
Oh my god, I gotta heal
So-
more than the tank. Other people are taking damage. I don't know how to do this. That's an
They
inconvenience.
weren't even taking damage. Like, they were pulling, but all the stuff was still focused on me.
Your death knives. Your desk. Fuck you, Dom. Your death knights in the 60s to low 70 range. You were overpowered as crap, broken. You could tank in a DPS spec.
Yeah, exactly. Probably couldn't hold aggro very well, but yeah, we could.
No, you couldn't hold aggro as well in a DPS spec, but you can tank in a DPS spec.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a blast.
And if you
I'm
know
having
what
so
you're
much
doing,
fun.
you're
I
broken.
want to start tanking raids on my Death Knight. So my plan is to level this guy up, and it's gonna take a little bit still because I have a lot going on. But
You'll get to
my plan is I want to tank. So every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern server time. Surprisingly enough, me and my arch nemesis Mike Shaftnit run a raid together.
You're
and,
the perfect odd couple.
Yeah, we are the odd couple. I mean, I still have his yellow dress over here. It's buried. Let me see.
Oh my god, he's still got that dress. He's gonna have this
Here
dress
it is.
forever.
Ugh. See, I still got Shaftnit's yellow dress.
It's terrible. It's
What?
picking up on your green screen keying and
That's
phasing.
really weird.
It's probably the shadows on it. See, it's similar to green. I'm not crazy. Now your background is getting all fucky ducky.
Yeah, whatever.
See, I'm colorblind. This is what I live with. Yellows that look like greens every
It still
day
doesn't
of
look
my
anything
life.
like green to me.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what?
you're right. It's probably the shadows. There we go. Yeah, but put it back in the shadow. But it's Shaftnit's yellow dress. It's the infamous yellow dress. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the runs are a blast. We get a lot done. Like we did normal We just do normal right now. We want to work our way up and do it. We want to get a consistent group. If there's anybody out there that is interested, hit either me or Shafnan up on Twitter, and we'll see what we can do. And we would like to get a consistent group, like the same people every week. Yeah, we do run with a lot of guildies. We actually had enough to run the whole thing with guildies this week. We were short like 2 healers, so we had to pug some healers. But I mean, as long as we can get a consistent group, it's something we'd like to do with people. So if there's anybody out there that are watching and they want to jump in and raid with us, then just hit us up. We'll see what we can do.
Exactly. And I'm hoping to make it this week. Anyway, more Blizzard stuff. Overwatch. Not much more, since we talked about last week how the beta is coming out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
At the end fall. My demise is coming soon in this room. Anyway, we're going to be starting a new podcast that Dom over here is going to be hosting. It's going to be him, myself, and a mystery guest that he won't even tell me who the hell it is. Son of a bitch. We're going to be starting that tomorrow at about 10 p.m. Eastern
On
time.
this channel.
On this channel. And we'll keep you apprised of, that's going to be the tentative time and day for now. The day is probably going to stay the same. The time might change a little bit in the future. And we're just going to do a short show about Overwatch. Nothing but Overwatch.
Yep, so make sure tune in, get the latest on Overwatch. We're gonna go through and kind of just talk about a lot of different aspects of the game, and
we'll still
focus on. We're gonna talk about all the characters, but we're gonna do them in like short little waves. So it's not gonna be everything all at once. We don't want to be like, okay, here's our first podcast, and then go over all the heroes, because that seems like the obvious thing to do is cover everything.
But we don't have a lot.
Catch up. But due to the fact that the game is coming out, we figure if we pace the content. Because me and Mike did get hands-on Overwatch. We did get to play it. Mm-hmm. And then the third host that's going to be on there has not had a chance to play it yet, but is familiar with the genre. And, it's going to be... We're going to get different perspectives and stuff on it. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah. We'll still cover the big announcements on this show, too, but that'll be for more in-depth Overwatchy kind of stuff. Now on to Hearthstone. Our usual reminder, you have till the end of the month, March, to get to rank 20, and you'll get this lovely Ragnaros-themed card back.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty. I like it.
Yep.
Also, we have an interesting Twitter... We don't really have much news Hearthstone-related, I'm sorry. We have a Twitter question that is Hearthstone-related, and we're going to cover that. This is from @NoMoreNoMore. My friend John. How do you guys think the newly unveiled Dragonkin Sorcerer card in Hearthstone will stack up against the Violet Teacher? Now, I don't know what the hell a Violet Teacher does, but I did look up what the hell a Dragonkin Sorcerer does.
Mm-hmm.
Dragonkin Sorcerer is a 4-mana card that has 3 attack, 5 health, and whenever you target this minion with a spell, gain +1/+1. That sounds pretty nice. What the hell does a Violet Teacher do?
A Violet Teacher is whenever you cast a spell, gain a +1/+1.
Interesting.
So
whenever you cast a spell, gain +1/+1 on the Teacher.
Right.
And that's just, it doesn't matter. You just cast the spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what is the card as is? Is it like 3/5 as well, or?
The Dragonkin Sorcerer, whenever you target that particular minion.
Right, no, I wanted to... The Violet Teacher, how's it stack up health and mana? Health and attack, normally.
I think it's a 3/5, if I remember correctly.
I'm looking right now. Violet Teacher is... Same thing, 4 mana, 3/5.
Yeah.
Whenever you cast a spell, summon a 1/1 Violet Apprentice.
Right.
And the dragon is whenever you target it, it gains 1/1.
I can't. Yeah, come here. Hi.
Aww. Is that Jasper?
That is Michaela.
That's Michaela. Well, I see no fucks being given, and I know that Jasper gives none. Crazy. Anyway, so how do you think it's gonna...
It's going to be interesting. The thing with it is they're both 4 mana cards, so chances are you're not going to be playing them on the same turn. It's possible, very very late game, and by then it's hard to gain control back as it is. But if you get turn 3 coin, um, no, you probably want to.
I mean, I think the question is more, will people be replacing it, the Violet Teacher, with this? Like, what's better? How does it stack up?
It's the same, but for different reasons.
Right. I mean, they're both 4 mana. They're both 3/5s. You'd just be taking it for the effect at that point.
Right. Well, see, I still find the Violet Teacher to be slightly better. Because yeah, 1/1 may not seem like a whole lot, but it's another minion. And just having the extra minions to trade off, because you get that 1/1. If you have a guy that throws Divine Shield up, right? That 1/1 takes it out. You're wasting a minion on it, yeah, but you're not wasting an entire minion's attack. Like it takes 1 point of damage to take one of those shields out. So the Violet Teacher is better in that regard. The Dragon King Sorcerer, if you target one spell with that, it turns into a 4/6, right? And then that takes it out of range of
Pain and Shadow Word Pain and
Shadow
Shadow
Word
Word
Pain.
Death.
And it's still not in range for Shadow Word Death, but using another spell on it would in fact make it. Pairing this up with a lot of the
Dragon buffing cards.
no, the I forget what they're called now. The engineer cards that they just added, the little 1 mana cost cards.
Oh, the scraps, the
Gear Spring parts or
scrap parts.
scraps.
I thought there were
Spare parts.
Spare parts. Oh god, why did I think scrap?
Yeah, no, but the spare parts you put those in with it, and you know that you could turn this into I don't use 3 in 1 turn with it, and you know I don't know, you could do a lot with it. So I mean, it's either do you want a stronger minion or do you want to flood the board with minions? It's preference at that point, but I think the two of them together definitely have some use, because you if you get both of them on the board at the same time, and then you cast a spell on the Dragonkin Sorcerer,
Then you're gonna flood the board with minions anyway.
then you're gonna have one minion growing and you're flooding the board. So I mean, it's good, but it's not overpowered because it is a 4 mana card, and they're both 4 mana cards. So it's gonna be very hard to get them both out on the same turn and use them in a way that's gonna affect it. Yeah, you can on turn 10, let's say turn 10, you can put both of them down. You can coin, which will put out another 1/1, right? Then you can start throwing 3 spare parts down on top of the Dragonkin Sorcerer, and now that's a 6/8. Yeah,
Something.
and then you have that, you have the Violet Teacher, and then you have 3/1/1 or 4/1/1s. So, I mean, on turn 10, you can gain a full board basically.
That's very nice.
I mean, it's a nice recovery. There's some options with it. There definitely is. I think it's a little too early to tell. We got to see what some of the other cards are going to do, and if there's going to be anything else with spare parts. If they even add, maybe for all we know, they may secretly add another spare part. We don't know. You know.
That'd be nice to see them in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good. Anyway, that's about that for this week. BlizzCon item level increase, which is interesting. It's not in the game yet. I almost caught it.
John,
Damn it.
John is saying in chat, no, it summons a 1/1. It doesn't. It says whenever you target this menu with a spell, gain +1.
No,
+1.
he meant
So-
the Violet. That's when we were talking about the Violet Teacher.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't know what the hell it did. I got a pill bottle thrown at me, and I almost caught it.
Okay.
She's been holding it for the last 20 minutes and just waiting, watching me, waiting for the
Yes.
time to strike. And she missed, and I almost caught it.
Nikki, you have really bad aim. You should try throwing an iPad at him.
I'm not going to even relay that. She'll find
She's
out
watching.
now. Yeah, she'll find out in 30 seconds. Anyway, that, I believe, is our show.
I'm waiting 30 seconds because I'm waiting to see an iPad just fly like a frisbee at your head.
We're really doing this?
apparently not.
She thinks I'm waiting to throw this at her.
Hmm.
She says, I'm using the fucking iPad. Oh my god. We really did that. Dom, where on the many places called the internet can the people find you?
There. At Zista, XIZTA with an underscore.
No. You really do have shitty aim.
Really, really bad aim.
What? I was attempting
Why'd you lose your headset?
because I went back and it fell off my head.
Oh.
Oh my god. Anyway, you could find me down there on Twitter at Thilladrin, Twitch at Thilladrin, Battle.net at Thilladrin. You can find me there, and you can find both Dom and I on YouTube on the SC9 TV podcast, where we do a whole bunch of talks about current popular TV shows. We do quite a lot of them. I guarantee you watch something that we do.
Oh, I just got a message.
What's up?
We forgot something.
What'd we forget?
We forgot our lore segment.
Son of a bitch.
We'll get it next week.
Yeah, well, mulligan this week. Take a break. Sorry, I got excited with other things to talk about.
BlizzCon really excited us. So
Both hands. You're not gonna throw anything else at me? Good.
do it.
Not the banana. She's got a banana peel. I don't want it. I don't want that on my
Peanut
face.
butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
No. Thanks for watching, everybody. This has been interesting. Long transition. Go.
Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat.
Really was long this week.
Yeah.